I'll get up.
Okay. What about the new thing about women having boyfriends just to follow them around so they can take pictures of them?
That's sick.
That's happening.
No, that's sick.
I don't know if you've seen that. That's happening now.
Wow. So
I see that in the basketball games. You see the girl, like now that I've been seeing the games, this guy's taking about 20 pictures of the girl. How about that one?
That's not a boyfriend. That's a photographer.
But that's the guy that going.
But he is. Hey, listen. Anytime a man's offering a service and a woman's not paying, a lot of times she's unfortunately paying. She's not telling you. If a woman has a guy following her around, taking pictures of her, and she's not paying for it, well, yeah, they just like the vacation guy you never see. Hey, I didn't know you went to Jamaica by yourself. I wasn't by myself. Yeah, of course you weren't by yourself. How could you afford a first place class, slow down, plane ticket, a Montego Bay, $1,000 bathing suit by yourself.
Best hotel suit.
Best hotel. With a lobster you took a picture of. You know what it is? It's that 65-year-old zaddy with a gut to hear, and he's probably Greek or Turkish or like Russian,
But see, the thing is with zaddies, they still want to exert a certain amount of control. So the woman still, I'm assuming, I've never done this, has to keep it probably on the down low. It has to be discreet.
Well, the way he probably looks, she's gonna keep that on the down low. But this is how old guys exhibit control. And that's why, hey, if you're watching this, old guys will whoop young guys all the time. And the older, the more dangerous. Because here's what'll happen. For example, a younger guy, up to middle age, will be like this. I don't want you to go out. Don't go out, I swear. Then an argument will converse.
And then she'll leave.
She'll leave. But here's the thing. If a woman gets it to that emotional point, you've already lost. If you yell, you've lost. If you yell, if you don't say anything, the guilt will bring her back. Like if you go out and, she'll be driving. Oh, he didn't say anything back. Oh, he's probably going to call that girl. Oh, let me go back there to the house. No, but if you yell back and she gets you in your emotion, she beats you. As a man, she just checkmated you. Okay? So, but an older guy, he'll just cut the money off. That's all he'll do. He'll just, like the United States does to a South American country. Hey, Peru, stop. Or we will stop nothing. Okay, well, that money.
Did you notice that that's what happened to ISIS? They stopped funding them and they stopped being on the scene.
I don't think ISIS ever existed.
They were being funded.
But it's a different organization. Hezbollah, and they're all the same. They're these, or Boko Haram. They're these groups that usually are backed by our dark state. Yeah. But for the American public, for the world public, you need a bad guy. You cannot execute policy unless there's a bad guy. You can't tell the American people, hey, guess what? I want to stop this pipeline from going across to Syria because we already got one in Israel, and that's the one we're making the money on. But Russia and China want that.
The Genie pipeline, yeah.
So you can't tell that American people and be like, well, what about this capitalism thing and this free market and all this stuff you keep shoving down our throat? Well, that's right. We did tell you that. Darn. Hey, guess what? There's these guys in Syria and they're cutting people's heads off. We have to stop them. Stop them now. Forget about Chicago. Forget about Houston. Forget about the own stuff we got in our own country. Go over there and stop those head-cutting savages now. And while we're there, we're probably going to, kill a few Russians and stop that pipeline. We don't care. There's heads being cut off. Go there now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it, man. I always had, but in America, okay, so let me pose a question.
Do you remember that famous movie scene when Scarface is drunk coming out of the club and he says, "Who's the real bad guy? The politicians or him?" Remember that speech? He was dead on.
Oh, like you said.
Dead on.
Well, like you said earlier, which
they need a bad guy to point the finger at, to point the camera, and that's actually
what they're telling you what they're doing.
They say that that's actually a communist trick. You point the camera at somebody, but it's not the root cause of the problem, and you start, putting out articles, papers, books about them, little following, and that guy goes a long way, and he takes away the vision, the real vision of the real problem for people.
But that's Nazi propaganda.
That's what I'm saying. So, but it's vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You have communism, National Socialism, Marxism, fascism, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you that all those are not the real problem. They're not the problem. The problem, and our worst enemy, is called technocracy.
Okay.
That means a technological dictatorship. What has happened with all the ex-dictatorships? They've all died. And then their sons are put in that position. Their sons are weak.
They fail.
They fail within one generation. And it's happened everywhere. So right now, the biggest thing in America is we're going to stop these fascists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nazis, neo-Nazis and all that. I'm going to tell you, all that has merged into one. And they don't need those talking heads anymore. What they need is artificial intelligence. Something to control. Something to be there forever.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Those same guidelines that you specified on what a dictator is, which I know you're paraphrasing, but that would be Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is...
You just see what one of the members from Pink Floyd said to Zuckerberg. They wanted to use the brick too.
Yeah.
About we don't need no education, we need the thought control. That song. Do you guys remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to use it for a propaganda. And he said, he gave him the middle finger. He said, keep your money. Apparently, he wanted to give him $1 billion just for the right to use it in a worldwide global commercial about the new education of the people.
The new education.
I don't know if you've seen this with everything that's happening. That's why I wanted you to see that movie, Transcendence. Because in that movie, he was doing everything from behind the scene. He was not sleeping. He never ate. But he was controlling everything from behind through a camera, through a kind of like the Zoom interviews now that you have. Mm-hmm. So in the future, you're not going to need a real person to walk in front of a crowd and speak to them anymore.
But that's what it's always been. If you look at all the Buck Rogers movies, look at Star Wars.
No, I'm saying
everything's been this dude from this.
They've been told us this for a very long time. All this is old technology, man. But what they needed was a way for cameras, microphones, education, banks, communications. They needed something to be able to communicate with everything. That's where 5G comes in, man. 5G is a way for machines to communicate. They're talking. There's this movie called The Machine. In that movie, The Machine, these guys were all soldiers that they came back from battling, hurt, half a head, no arm, no legs, and they will give them body enhancements. But the body enhancements would not mix with their bodies. It was too strong. They were too violent. And then they actually started talking in a different language, which the creator of the machine said, it's just gibberish. It was a new language between machines to communicate. And they were communicating about a plan that they had, on how to rebel, how to break free. Because these machines know that there's a kill switch on them, a turn off and turn on button. So one day, that's where the GOINT, it went online and they said already it's going to commit errors. It might nuke a country. It might what you would call release a virus. It might what you would call cause the stock market to crash and let certain people know about it and others not, so they can invest in it. This happened before, like in the 1930s. It's happened before. The Rockefellers, they said, they lost, we won, and everybody jumped on board with the losing team. And all that's a result. What we're seeing now is a result of what happened in the early 1930s, man. I think we're back in 1933 Germany right now. But what's happening over there, the rise of a specific person, a chancellor, but then they gave him complete control of Germany's economy, the wealth, but he took over the vision. This old quote in the Bible. my people perish without a vision.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the vision that we see now? I asked it to my brother, what's the vision that you see for your daughter? He cannot give me an answer. I say freedom, with the right to pursue anything she wants in education, and to be happy. That's something that has always been around.
That's in the
but now they're switching everybody to gotta be part of the beehive, collectivism. You know, you gotta be part of the crew. That's why sometimes I feel I don't fit in anymore in this world. I feel what you would call. I see things for what they are. You know, most people don't see that, but I see things just being fake. When I was telling you that word glib, he's a smooth talker, a shallow person, and I see that with most of our politicians when they go on stage and they talk.
Well, politicians,
I see. So that word glib and that word glib too means that whatever they put their hands on or start working, they could start working with a good, like the internet. The internet, it's good. It's good and bad. You know, if it's hijacked, it's going to be used for control.
A gun is good or bad.
Yeah, same thing.
A gun can feed you, or a gun can rob. You can lose all your money to a gun.
But I'm saying that. So it's that word cognitive dissonance. Like you could tell people. I'm telling people stuff is happening, but they cannot see it. They didn't see it 5 years back. Now they're like, hey, what? Some of the stuff that you were saying is actually happening, man. I see it. Where's it going now? So now they're asking questions, you know. But I've always been that type of person. I'm not what you would call. I like preaching to the choir, you know. But when people ask questions, I like to give them facts. I like to tell them, I could tell you, I could get you there. But then you have to take it to the next level.
There's different movements.
There's books, you know.
But there's movement. See, when you got the beehives, that's just when you go back, if you want to go back in history to like any movement that happened, there's always the movement, then there's a counter movement. The counter movement is this person or these people have this thought. They see things differently. They have a different perspective. So one person will lead them to make a movement.